guys ready?
Sure.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everybody, to our third episode of the TAMUSA Esports Podcast. Today, I have the Rocket League team with me. Before we get into introductions, I'm going to go through some upcoming events. On February 27th, our second qualifier for the Spring Invitational for Smash is going to be taking place. We'll leave a link in the description through challenge so y'all can register for that. And then Joey, our head manager for the content crew, is going to have his first Minecraft stream on Friday, February 18th. Other than that, that's about it. We'll get into introductions. Let one of these guys go first. I don't know who's feeling it.
I'll go first.
Captain first.
So,
Captain first.
Yeah.
Say my name.
Yep, name,
Okay, my
classification.
name's, Nathan Torres. I'm a senior, hoping to graduate after the semester. I'm majoring in psychology and minoring in criminology. What's next, Tom?
My name is Dominic, majoring in finance, and that's it.
You're
Next, you're a junior? Oh, I'm a senior. Sorry, I got lost.
My name's Derek. I'm a senior, and I'm majoring in computer information systems with a minor in cybersecurity.
My name is Caleb Lara. I'm a junior. I'm also majoring in computer information systems with a concentration in cybersecurity.
All right.
I plan to graduate in about 2 more years.
Nice.
Nice.
All right. Well, I think just a basic question we can start off with is how did you all get into gaming? Was it through an older sibling, uncle? I think on some other previous episodes we had someone who was an older brother, older cousin.
Gaming in general, or
Just gaming before, yeah.
Just general gaming. I think I wasn't really playing a lot of games, and then there was a family friend who started playing Need for Speed, and he would take me over to his house and we played Need for Speed, and I was like, I really like this game, so I wound up telling. I think I always had a PlayStation. I don't think I really ever used it though. But then I told my parents, I was like, "Can I get Need for Speed?" And so I started playing Need for Speed, and that's how I got into gaming.
Nice.
How'd you get into Rocket League now?
Rocket League.
It's like car.
I used to play a bunch of when I first started playing competitive games. I had a friend named Jonathan who introduced me to COD, and so I was really only playing first-person shooters like Rocket League and Siege and I mean
Rocket League.
first-person shooters like COD and Siege.
There you go.
And so that's pretty much all I would play. I wouldn't play single-player games. I wouldn't play any MMOs or any of those other games like that. And one of my friends was like, "Oh, hey, there's this free game out right now on PlayStation." And I was like, "What is it?" He said, "Well, you can kill people." And I was like, well, "Okay." So I guess that's all that they knew that I liked was that, shooting people in first-person shooters. And they were like, "Yeah, it's called Rocket League." So I started playing it. I was like, "Yeah, the objective here isn't to kill people. It is
That's
like
the
soccer."
goal.
But that's how I got into playing Rocket League.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay, down there.
Well, we're going in order. No, I'm just kidding. So I got into gaming. My oldest brother and then my brothers, they all kind of played somewhat different games, but most of the time it stayed consistent. I used to like to play more like Skyrim and Zelda, kind of just puzzles /
RPG.
and then Rocket League came out. My older brothers played. It was free to play, just like Nate said, and we started playing it. I really liked it, but me and Caleb didn't get to play much because we didn't. The PlayStation was to our brothers, and then finally, when I was able to get a PlayStation myself, we started playing a lot, and then that's really how we got into Rocket League. Or me actually got into Rocket League. You'll hear Caleb's story, but we're brothers, so.
That's the first time hearing this. I actually did not know that.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't know
A
that.
lot of brothers. Legendary.
We're
dude.
playing the same
There's a
room.
lot of.
So yeah, I got into gaming because every time my family would come over for Thanksgiving or any kind of event like that, we'd always play it on my grandma's Nintendo 64. We played Smash Bros. Smash Bros or Mario Kart, and so that's how I got into that kind of retro gaming. Finally got my Xbox in 2017. 2018, and then
The Xbox One
Xbox One
in 2017.
or whenever it came out.
Was your
Oh
first
wait, no,
console
I mean
with
like the
Xbox
first,
One,
the
like the
original.
Slim?
The original
Oh no
Xbox?
no.
You're late to the party.
No, like the actual like Xbox One, like
I
the
got
That
touch
was
to
your
start.
first console on Xbox One?
Yeah.
Oh,
Damn.
It's like someone getting a PS5 for their first
That's what
console.
I'm saying.
Yeah, but my brother would come over because he didn't have an Xbox, and so he'd be like, "Let me play," and I was like, "Okay, just download whatever games you want. Just don't use my credit card." and so he was like, "All right, I'm gonna play this game called Rocket League." So I would watch him play, and I was like, "That game looks kind of interesting." So whenever he wasn't there, I would start playing, and that's how I kind of picked up the game in 2018, and then I sold it and then got my PC, and that's when I finally started picking it up in a competitive manner.
Nice.
Yeah, similar to Dom, I think my older brothers were usually in college, or by the time I was in like elementary school, they were in college already. So, the two oldest would always come home for either Thanksgiving or Christmas or something, and they would bring back new games that they have already bought. And the PlayStation 3 is like what I remember playing like all the time with them. I don't know what kind of games I played a lot of Call of Duty. I love Call of Duty. I love different games like Guitar Hero, or like not really Skyrim games like Dom or Zelda. That's not my type of games. I really like Borderlands though. But anyway, that's where I got into gaming from, and then from then on, whenever we got the PlayStation, we all played Rocket League on my cousins, but we didn't play seriously. We were just playing for fun. And at the time, I didn't really like Rocket League. Actually, it was like this ain't not fun at all. and then so they were trying to get good at it, but I had no interest. And then it was kind of like when they stopped playing, I started playing more, and then I started liking the game more and more, and tried to climb the ranks myself. And that's when I started like
Nice.
actually taking it seriously.
he started playing when we all stopped playing, and then
I
he would
wanted
be like,
them
"Let's
to play,
Rocket
but
League."
then they didn't want to play with me.
Rocket
So I
League.
was like, oh my god.
I think for me, like I really didn't start playing games until I was about 7 or 8, and I'd always go over to my childhood best friend's house because, I mean, we didn't really. My first console was like a GameCube, but I didn't get that until I was like 9 or 10. But I'd always go over to my friend David's house, and like the first game I ever played was Star Wars Battlefront on the PS2, and we sat there for hours playing that game. His mom would have to like glue us off the screen. Like we just sat there for hours and hours. And then eventually Minecraft came out, and it was even worse. But I think it's kind of interesting. I'm kind of curious now. I never had an older sibling that was into game. Well, I don't have an older sibling, but I never had an older sibling that was like into gaming or anything like that. But I feel like I'm very competitive. I don't know about you two, but I feel like I would have been talking a lot of trash. Like, does that go on a lot in y'all's house? Y'all talk.
Yeah.
Some of the things that we share,
He starts laughing. He's just like,
some of the things that we sometimes we banter with each other in the practice and all that stuff. And I think it was like a week and a half ago. We were in one of the VCs, and Miles was in there, and there was some normal banter that someone threw a haymaker, and I was just like, okay, that was a little rough.
No. I was turning fire for
I'm not gonna say it was, but come to find out, the other one was saying it before.
Yep.
And I was like,
Okay, I'll say it. So there are some times where I don't know. I mean, we're brothers, right? But it's nothing personal, so we could say whatever we want. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
Because, I'll chime in. It's just because like I think I'm better than him, and he thinks he's better than me.
Of course, naturally, it's like y'all have to butt heads like your brothers. I don't think I've ever known a set of brothers that have just gone along like perfectly.
like a Hallmark movie.
Oh yeah, no, they're all like me and my brother growing up. Oh my goodness, we'd go at it. But I guess going on to the next topic, y'all kind of talked about who influenced what games y'all played. But was there a specific title that really like sparked like esports for y'all, or was it all Rocket League? Nate, you kind of touched on COD.
yeah. Before when I was just playing games, I started playing sports games like Madden, the NBA games and FIFA and all that stuff. But I didn't really. Like, it was just video games, you play just to have fun and distract yourself or whatever. But my freshman year of high school, I got introduced to this guy named Jonathan, and he played a bunch of COD, and I had never played an FPS before. And I remember one day he was like, I was asking him, I was like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm watching Twitch. And I was like, what's that? I had no idea what any of that was. And he was watching Black Ops 2, the World Championships.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, because I started playing COD at that point. But I wasn't very good at it. But he started telling me about like all the pros and all that stuff and how they're on teams and what have you. And so I started watching it, and it was real engaging. Like the gameplay was cool, but then COD I guess is kind of unique in this regard, but they have a lot of drama.
They do.
So
all egos.
Yeah, a lot of esports have drama, right? But none of it is really like aired out, and like they really hang out their dirty.
Oh yeah, no, COD pros have no problem just calling someone out.
Yeah, they like back then they used to stream their scrims and like they'd be yelling and screaming at each other like they go crazy. So I think that's what was really entertaining for me was, I guess, the drama coupled with the esport itself, and I guess ever since that I was just like, okay, esports is kind of cool. Yeah, the COD is, I guess, the game that kind of transitioned me from, just casual having fun to competitive gaming.
And for the rest of y'all, was it just kind of Rocket League?
No, I think for me, I mean, it was always like I was watching from afar because my brothers or my older brother or older than him would always have LAN parties, and it would be Halo 2 and Halo 3.
Oh yeah.
So I would be there and watching them and wanting to play, but I never could because I was
Give
too
him the
young.
broken controller.
I was too young. I wasn't good.
The controller's not
And
playing.
It's a TV remote.
It was just their friend, so I'm not gonna be in it. And at the time, I didn't really understand that, so I was just like mad and sad that I couldn't play. So I think from then on, I was just whenever I had the chance, I would be playing Halo. Or my brother was also good at Guitar Hero, and that was another game where I had so much passion for it. I just kept playing and trying to get better than him, so that I can play with like them in the band, like because we have like 5-man bands or whatever with the vocals and whatever. We used to have those
The
nights.
drums.
Those are
Yeah.
fun nights, and so I've always been trying to get good at like the games I play, or I've always like taken it more serious. It wasn't really till like Call of Duty where they had introduced ranked, where I was like trying to rank up and stuff. So I think that whole journey has just been me trying to get good at games.
So far, we talked about Nate's experience.
Oh, competitive.
Yeah, for competitive.
I didn't really play anything competitive like I wanted to. Like, I mean, chances of going pro are slim, but I used to like to play FIFA a lot. I would play like the rank system in FIFA, and it's like I think from like 10 to 1, and I was close to a 1, but then I never make it to 1. After that, I tried playing League of Legends, but that game was too hard. Not good at FPSs. I hate those games. Except for Halo. Halo's cool. And then played Rocket League, and I just like Rocket League because I think I like more physics-based games rather than shooters.
Oh yeah, Valorant and League definitely don't have their physics.
Yeah,
They don't
so...
work.
Oh, I know, but it's better than me having a aim. Like, they're bigger, like, areas of aiming,
Yeah.
like if I'm using power, so it's like, I can deal with that. But Rocket League is the game I stuck to the most, and then I just played for fun, but I played since I started, so now I'm here.
Nice.
Okay, there's more to that story, but okay.
care to elaborate for more to his story?
No, Dom was the best one in the household, always at Rocket League.
Really?
Heck yeah.
And then once we,
Once you start playing,
like,
So
I'm
he's
not,
being
no,
humble
Dom,
about
Dom
it.
has always been the best in Rocket League. It wasn't until now that like there's ever been like a discussion on who was better or like anything, because he was always Diamond 3, or then he got champ, or I mean he got Grand Champ, and we're just like, we're never reaching that. And then, I mean, you keep working at it.
it's not enough. I realized that once you start playing against these better teams and better people, I was like, oh yeah, like you're the best that you know. Well, you know there's better people, but then it's like you go into the big, like, you start seeing UT Dallas that we played and St. Edwards, and I was just like, wow, there's such a huge gap.
Yeah, like it's different from watching rather than like playing in the game and like actually seeing like the flow of the game.
Yeah.
So it's like very different. think just casual.
I know.
Yeah.
I definitely can relate to that because I remember. So I transferred from Shriner, which is in Kerrville, and I used to play a league, unfortunately, and I was I was Shriner's 80 carry, and the first team we played against, we like rolled them. Like most of the teams in the regular season we played, we rolled them 2-0, like super quick. They were like sub 30-minute games.
Dang.
Wow.
So it was really quick. And so then over winter break, I think it was winter break, before we started our boot camp, our coach had scheduled a scrim against the University of Houston, and we went against like a Diamond 3 support and then like a Masters 80 carry. And at the time I was like plat, but like I was like pretty confident that I could compete with them. And oh my good God, like I mean, their 80 carry was micromanaging their support. Like, he was like, okay, walk up now, throw your hook, do this. And, like, going back and watching the VOD, like, this guy was doing things that, like, my brain just could not comprehend. And it was just like, holy, like, I thought I was, like, getting better. I thought I was good.
Yeah.
And then you play against these other players and you're like, man, I'm trash. Like, what the
Look at
hell
it.
is this?
But, I mean, Derek, how did you?
Yeah, what was...
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Okay, so on my Xbox, I would always be playing Siege with friends. And they were like, oh, like, you know, play ranked with us or we're going to have a ranked party. And I was like, no, like, I don't want to play. They're like, no, like, we're 5-sacking, whatever. And so I was like, all right, fine. So then I finally like, started taking Siege more seriously. And then, granted, I was only like silver at the time. So I was like, you know, but I liked it. I liked the rush that I felt. So then I was like, well, why don't I just connect that? This is when I was ongoing with transitioning to playing Rocket League more seriously. And so I finally convinced a couple of friends to be like, hey, like, let's start playing like ranked and see how far we can get. And so that's kind of like how I switched into more of like a competitive manner for Rocket League. So I was like, okay, like I could just keep on getting better, and then finally applied for the esports team and got on.
Well, I guess leading into that, I'm more curious, and this is something I've asked everyone that's been on the podcast so far. In terms of traditional sports, I think esports gets a lot of flack, and people don't take it as seriously because you are playing a video game. But there are definitely a lot of like little like nuances about esports that are very similar to more traditional sports like baseball, football. I know, Derek, you played baseball, and we have a funny story about that. We can probably talk about that for a little bit. But like, did y'all play any sports growing up? Like,
Yeah, and when I was a lot younger, I played baseball for CYO. I have a baseball card to me.
Okay.
It's a collector.
Alright.
He's like, he has a
It's
stats and all, dude.
it's a limited edition.
It's hard.
Oh,
I'm part of the Yankees. I don't know if you guys know.
It's holographic.
See if I still have it in here.
Dang,
we'll have to get a picture and we'll put it up on the screen
Mm.
All right, here.
for all our viewers.
Look at that, Yankees.
I like that.
Let me see. I want to see.
I kind of want to see it too.
Dang, Nate. He's still the same size.
Bro, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Dude, Slugger Tours right
How much
there.
is this worth?
I haven't
Priceless.
signed
Oh, that's
it, so-
priceless.
That's priceless, dude.
That's
It's
priceless.
the Mona
right there.
Lisa.
I used to play baseball when I was a lot younger. I used to play baseball when I was younger, and then I moved on to soccer. And I played soccer, I think, like, oh man, it was like somewhere around the beginning of middle school all the way until like, I want to say like 4th grade, all the way until 8th grade. And then I got into high school. My high school didn't have any sports, but I started boxing around my sophomore year.
That's a turn.
Yeah, there's pictures of me up on, I don't have any pictures of me doing that in my wall, but at home we have pictures of me when I would train. I was boxing back then. There were some champions who I used to spar. One of them, I think this past weekend, won a world championship.
Damn.
But yeah, I used to do that for a couple years. And then after that, I was, just video games.
Do you guys play any sports together?
He was I mean, he was always good at
It's
the
your
sports.
turn.
We're going
I
in
know.
Did you
order.
play any sports? I remember.
Oh, I mean, I really like basketball, but of course, like I feel like you can, how to put it, you can like a sport, but I mean, if you keep trying to go, and of course you have to make teams, and there's higher skill levels, but you're not up to par with those people. So I wanted to at least be in a sport or be active, so I joined cross country and track in high school. So, I mean, I hated running, but I didn't want to not be in anything, so just run miles. What was the other question? So growing up, I played basketball. I like basketball. I always watch basketball. I've always wanted to play soccer, but I it's too hard playing with your feet. And then what else? Our dad was a coach. Oh, we played tennis too. I mean, I just like sports in general. Even if you're not playing competitively, just for fun.
Yeah.
I'll play golf, tennis, disc golf, whatever it is. But our dad's also a coach too, so that kind of like we didn't have to play football, but it was kind of like.
There,
Other
if you
than
wanted
that,
to.
I'm there till 7 or 8 o'clock.
Yeah, so like you might as well do something.
Yeah, so yeah, that's my journey.
I think Derek, we both played baseball. I've always thought like I wonder if we were ever at a practice
And we saw each other.
and
and
we just didn't know.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure that I'm like definitely sure that this has happened. So I used to play baseball. I mean, I started playing when I was like 3 or 4 in t-ball or whatever, and I think when I started taking lessons with this guy, Coach Pete, and it would be at the back of it was behind the Alamo Heights like varsity baseball field. There's like this miniature field behind there, and so I take lessons from him for a couple of years, and then eventually he started his own like program called Class A Baseball, which I mean, if there's any like younger kids that are looking to get into baseball, highly recommend like seek him out. Like this guy is legit, probably one of the best coaches I've ever had.
Is it sponsored?
Oh no, but I've known the guy since I was 7, and he's like super close with our family. So he started this program, and I ended up playing with him for a couple of years before we moved to Austin. And I came back and would train with him over the summers. And I remember one day I came down. We this last year for fantasy football, Derek was in a league with us, and I came down to he came over to our apartment. And I came down in these shorts, and they had the Class A logo on them. And Derek was like, "Is that Class A?" Like with
I
Coach
recognize
B?
those shorts.
He recognized
They were
the
the
shorts.
practice shorts.
They gave them to every player.
Mhm.
And I was like, "Bro, there's no way this guy knows who the hell this is." Like, it's so weird. And so now, like every time I always think about I go back and think about playing baseball or whatever. I'm always wondering. I'm like, dude, I could have been at practice with this guy, and I just wouldn't have known.
Definitely,
It's
I have.
definitely,
Small world.
yeah, right. Super small world.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, "There's no way!" Like, I was like thinking for a long time. I was like, "There's no way." I was like, "It's got to be something else, like California, like something, right? Something to do with like a C and A." And I was like, "But only one team has that logo,
Yep,
the C and the A." And I was like,
that's
"Is that Class A?" I was like, and I asked him. He's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh my god, that's awesome!"
Like, did you ever go to the practices behind at O'Connor?
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
always go to those too.
Yeah, so we had to have been there at the same time,
That's crazy.
right? That is like super small world.
So you play baseball, dude?
Yeah, well, I used to, and then like in high school, I would play all 4 years, and I played baseball for my entire life. And then once I got to college, I was at PAC, and like my sophomore year, they finally had a club team. So I was like, I'll just, like I have so much time on my hands. I was like, I might as well occupy myself. So then I was like, all right, like I'm just gonna play as like a pitcher or whatever. So I did that for a year, and we did pretty good, starting off for our first season. But yeah, and then now I transferred to A&M, so I'm just chilling playing Rocket League.
It says pitcher or
I
whatever.
know,
Like
like
pitcher's
nothing.
like the least skilled position.
Right.
What?
Oh
No, pitcher's definitely like one
No,
of the most skilled.
That's why I was,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why I
Okay,
was saying it was
I was
funny.
like-
It was like you kind of brush it off like
Yeah,
pitcher.
yeah.
I just played pitcher.
It's a pitcher.
Casually through,
Just picked it up.
93.
No, yeah, no,
Yeah,
me,
he
me
just
and
threw
Tim.
the ball.
Balls, curve balls, everything.
Yeah, I want to say Tim, you're a pitcher, right? Or you used to be a pitcher?
I mostly played outfield, but I stopped playing my junior year just because I think I got to a point where baseball wasn't fun anymore. It always
Yeah.
felt like a chore, and
It's like, oh, here we
I
go.
was like, oh, I have to go to practice. Oh, well, these games, like, we're playing in them, but it's not that fun.
Yeah.
So, and for me, like, I'm very competitive, but the moment things start not being fun anymore, I'm just like,
Just like,
nah.
nah.
I have to go find something else.
Yeah.
So at the time, I mean, video games were a thing for me. I played a lot of Counter-Strike, and then eventually that fell into League, and then Riot released Valorant, and I was like, well, I hate League, so we'll go see if this Valorant game's any good.
like, hey, I like it.
It's not bad. It's not much better, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
League is
It's a love-hate relationship.
League is. I don't know about love. That's a lot. That's a lot of tough love. I think League is the only thing is just the community.
Yeah.
I've never seen a game have to take all chat out of the game because people are so toxic.
It's not
Clash
in
of
there
Clans.
anymore?
They took it out of the game.
They removed all chat from the game.
What? That's
Why don't you
crazy.
just turn off the
Clash of
chat?
Clans.
That's
Why
what I'm
don't you
saying.
just
Like,
turn off the
if
chat?
people ever get on my nerves in any game I ever played, I just mute them. I'm like, bye. But I don't know. They were like, I guess not. We'll just remove it from the game.
The one thing that I love League. I played mid lane, and my favorite character was Anivia. And
Oh wait, what? Anivia?
the bird.
The bird, the ice bird?
Yeah.
Bro.
I played
That
Echo
game-
or
that
Anivia.
You watch beer exchange like
Oh my gosh.
And but the games are like, I mean, I'm sure if you're really good, you can beat them in less than 30 minutes. But the games are too long. Like you start a game and then
Yeah.
mom comes home with groceries and you're like,
Oh,
you
shit,
can't miss
guys, sorry, I
anything.
gotta go AFK.
Yeah.
Oh.
that is a problem.
Well, I'm sure for y'all, one of y'all could just ask the other one to
Not if we're
to
both
play.
in the game.
They're the same lobby.
Let me control both mouses.
It's my turn. Yeah, like Dom didn't say, but Dom played basketball, I watched Dom playing basketball growing up, so that he really taught me like everything he knew. So like playing outside in the backyard, so I took that passion from him probably, like, because I played basketball my whole life, all through high school and stuff. Yeah, I played sports. I played basketball, tennis, track, and that's it.
Sports was fun until he grew to be 6 feet. And then it wasn't fun anymore.
That's one thing I'm afraid of. So my youngest brother Sam is he's 10, I think. I can't remember. But that kid, like I've seen, like he was there with the day he was born, and oh my word, like he's huge now. So and now he's in like Taekwondo. He's like an orange belt.
Oh, God.
And he started sparring. So like, I'm just like, I gotta like beat this kid up and bully him as long as possible because he's gonna be like 6'4" or whatever. This guy,
Dang.
he's
Like,
gonna be
it's
a
my turn now.
That's what I'm
the
saying. He's gonna
captain
be a
now.
Pretty
monster.
much.
He's gonna be a monster.
Yeah, it was just...
I'm about to tell my dad. I'm like, look, take him to a linebacking coach. Take some heads off, dude.
Gotta get out of that aggression.
Yeah, no. But back to, I guess what we were originally talking about. So traditional sports and like esports have a lot of similarities, but I feel like a lot of people don't take esports as seriously just because it is video games. Like, how do you guys feel about like esports as like? Do you think it should still be taken seriously, or is it still just more like, oh, it's casual, but there is a slight competitive edge to it?
I mean, like, there's still people getting like, like carpal tunnel, like actual like injuries resulting from
Playing so much.
playing
yeah.
so much and so competitively. So I mean, like if you can get injured, it should be taken serious enough. It's like okay, like if you're risking your health to play something, like put your passion into something, like I feel like that should be taken seriously.
I think also it's like creating a market or like entertainment too. So if a bunch of people like one game and they're gonna capitalize on that, and people want to play competitively, and so it's like to me, there's no difference in whether it's an esport or sport or whether it's sports that maybe people might not consider sports. Like there's a controversy on cheerleading and stuff, but it's all just like entertainment at the end of the day, and so you can be really good at them, and so I don't think there should be any difference. Maybe one's less active, but it's still you have to be good at it. So
Yeah, like I feel like the only real difference is just the physical like side of it. Like you're not put
That's
like you mentioned injuries, and I've never really thought about like the actual injury side of it, but you are still putting the time, the hours into like VOD review, playing the game, trying to get better. Because there are things that like I've seen Nate, I've seen Derek, I've seen unfortunately one of our other players for the Rock League, Charles, that isn't here. I've seen y'all all do things in Rock League that I, for the life of me, can't do. All I do in that game is blow people up. Like I will demo people all game long. I'll be that guy. I don't care.
Woody.
Yeah. But I feel like there is like a side that you kind of do have to respect, and like I feel like people that don't do it are just kind of ignorant.
Yeah.
I think the narrative does come from that physical aspect of, we all play sports, so it's like in order to get better, you have to actually go out and do something about yourself, like to get better. But it's like the idea of staying inside and home and just sitting at one spot playing something is not like seen in the public eye as like
doing
a
something
sport, or like you're not hardworking, I guess, in the sense of physically. So it's like that's what I think it makes it controversial, but I think definitely there's always like a competitive aspect to it. So it's like I think it's up to the word sport being like changed rather than like considering it joining. But you could see like when we don't play, I didn't really. I did play at the beginning of the break, like when we stopped school in December. It's like I didn't play for like 2 weeks. I was taking a break, and then it's just like you can tell the difference that people are getting better. Like I saw Derek get better, I saw Nate got better, Charles got better, Dom got better. It's just like you kind of fall behind. So it's like you grind back up, and you have to put in that hours of playing in order to get better. That's what I like about it.
Like,
You gotta respect the game.
any thoughts?
Yeah, I think I kind of have to agree with Dom here when it comes to the entertainment aspect of why people respect certain things. Like here in America, we probably don't care about cricket or rugby like
Very
in, like,
true. Yeah.
another country. I think that's kind of unique though about esports is like video games are kind of universal.
Yep.
But I think that they should get the same respect if they're entertaining, like what Dom said. Like if no one's gonna care about like, or I don't want to say no one, but like for example, like I know of a lot less people that care about Smash versus caring about something like Rocket League or COD. But I don't think that just because one is lesser known than the other, less popular, that it should be less respected. Because it's kind of like what I think what Kat and Derek had said, where like if you're good at something, then you should respect it. That's my 2 cents.
I like how he said Kat and Derek.
Or sorry, Caleb.
I think another thing too is like I feel like video games are not extremely limiting. Like you can go buy a PS4, but like if you're trying to make it to the NBA, there's the statistics showing where most people have to be over 6 feet.
Yeah.
You have to have these certain qualifications before you even.
Yeah,
it's like if you're under
demanding.
5 foot, if you're under 6 feet, it's like you're
Spud
automatically
web.
out.
Yeah.
It's just such a disadvantage.
There's only like Spider Web, like all those people that have been in, but small exceptions. So it's like video games is kind of like, there's even older people that are good. There's young people. There's the older people on Twitch. They're funny to watch. But yeah.
I think going off of that Nate just addressed Caleb as Cat. I am kind of curious. There's 2 things. One of them we'll get to afterwards, but I am curious on how everybody got their IGNs or their names. Like, did you come up with it? Like, how did you get Cat? Like, what is everybody's
Dorito.
I think I
Dorito that?
mine was probably just making your Xbox Live account, and then it's
Like the generic.
the name
The
you
generic,
get.
the randomly generate one.
There's probably more numbers to it, but I
Yeah.
just shaved them off to 88 because that was my favorite number was 8. So then I just shaved off the 88 in the end.
I used-
Cat word.
I used to run a meme page called Red Smoke.
Dang.
Oh, for
And I used to
real?
run it with a couple of buddies. And so I was like, I'm just gonna make that my gamer tag. That's gonna be like my calling card.
You know, I know I've seen that somewhere. Or were you at Alamo Heights?
Mm.
No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
I followed that meme page. Yeah. Mine actually says Taz, but I never actually used it. The thing behind mine was my dog's name is Rasmus, and it's from a Netflix show, and based on like some Nordic country, Danish country. There we go. The rain. It's like some contagious rain or something. You have to stay out of the rain. And so thought Rasmus is cool. And then so we would call him Tasmus. And then Taz, like the Tasmanian devil, because he is basically, he's crazy. You come home and the couch cushions are off, something's eaten, and
Dog ate your homework.
Dog ate
yeah,
your homework.
pretty much.
Literally.
You couldn't leave anything out. So he's only a year old now, but I changed in the Discord. I think it was Seabass Paperclip there. He said Ramusa, and so Ramus kind of just stuck. So now my Steam name is Ramus, but this says Taz, so it's not. It doesn't correlate, but it's the same. Like it's behind my dog.
Yeah,
I'm curious on how you got
I don't-
Dorito.
I don't really know what was going through my head, but
I don't know either.
when I was a lot younger, the online alias that I would use was Fritos. And
You just have an obsession with chips.
Yeah,
He just loves chips.
Lay's was his other one.
it was at first Frito Lay, because that's the brand. And then I just shortened it to Fritos. And then I got a PlayStation. I was going to make a PSN ID. And I would put Fritos with like certain numbers, but that wasn't available. So I was like, what am I going to pick now? And then Dorito kind of rhymes, gets a little close to it, so I was like, let me try that. And it worked. And I just stuck
You
with
just
it.
stuck with it?
Yeah, I just
That's
got rid of the
interesting.
numbers though. Now it's just Dorito.
His passwords are Cheeto and Hot Funyuns.
I think I remember, so a common like thing with, I don't go by like Timmy now, but whenever I was making my like my Riot account for League, I was trying to put like Timmy, and I tried Timmy with 1 T, didn't work. Timmy with 2 T's didn't work. So I was like, oh well. For those of you who don't know, Ethan on 100 Thieves, when he played Counter-Strike, put his name backwards. And so I was like, wait, why don't I just try that? So when I see it, it's instantly, oh, it's just Timmy spelled backwards. But every time anyone ever saw it, they were like, Yimit?
Yimit?
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Is it Yimit? And it's like, no, it's Timmy backwards. And they just have this great epiphany, like, oh. And I don't know, I think we were in the Discord one night, and someone had asked me, it was like, oh, well, why is it with 2 T's? And I was like, oh, well, Timmy backwards with 1 T was taken, so we were just going to put as many T's as I had to get it.
With 6 T's.
Yeah, no, so,
That's what it takes.
yeah, no, now I changed to Giyu because he's a badass.
His goat.
He's the GOAT. Greatest anime character of all time. But one question I have, Nate, so I came into the program, I don't know if it just popped up and I don't remember, but how did Nasty Nate come about? Where did this come from?
That I'm. You'd have to ask Travis. Travis was our old head coach. I don't know. I had never really been called Nate before.
Uh-huh.
So everyone started calling me Nate, I guess, because instead of using 2 syllables, they wanted to just use 1. Someone just started calling me
Someone
Nasty
started.
Nate, and I was like, yes, it stuck, and everybody started calling me that. Or a bunch of people started calling me that, Nasty Nate. There's a lot of clips of me saying some things that are kind of funny. But
There's definitely there's one that comes to mind, but I don't know if I want
Yeah.
You want to expose him?
to. Yeah, I don't.
I
Show the
was
group
in
chat messages.
Esports memes for a reason, not
Yeah.
a public chat.
I'm sure you can. If anyone's curious, you can join the the TAMUSA Discord. We'll leave a link in the description, but you can go check out our memes channel.
Yeah.
And Nate's runs pretty frequent in there. From the egghead to
that was funny.
that was pretty funny. But yeah, those are all the questions I have for you guys. Is there anything else y'all wanted to talk about? Any questions for me? Comments, concerns?
You know, Derek, do you know Bullet?
Bullet,
Remember
yeah.
that term? You know, he knows Bullet too. He's just a young, he's a childhood friend of mine. I went to school with him. And I mentioned him, Derek, and he was like, what's his last name? And I was like, and then I asked him, and he's like, oh, yeah, I played baseball with him. I was like,
Yeah.
Bro, Derek just knows everybody.
just knows
everybody,
What
bro.
the heck? That's crazy.
It's my side of town right here.
Yeah.
Sassai.
No questions for
No
me.
questions? All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. If you aren't following us on Twitter and Instagram, it's at TAMUSA Esports. Don't forget to leave a like, comment down below, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.
See ya.
I thought we were gonna have to
And
clap.
clap.
for a
I
second.
I know, right?
No,
I was
that
like,
good.